and welcome to a brand new series of Countrywise. Over the next 8 weeks, we will bring you the very best of the British countryside.
You just never see that.
I know, so fantastic, isn't it, to see them up close. We'll be travelling off the beaten track from coast to coast to bring you some hidden gems.
I mean, I'm stuck in a goat sandwich. Quite literally, cannot move for goats.
Hello, beauties.
We'll be meeting the people who have the most unusual countryside jobs.
Yay, man overboard! Yes, well overboard! This week, I'm on the south coast to visit the world's biggest colony of Britain's biggest bird. That's an incredible noise. I've never heard a swan make a noise like that.
Yeah. And I'm in Northern Ireland in search of the elusive and iconic Irish hare.
And I'm in the North Atlantic for the snorkeling experience of a lifetime.
They're so beautiful. They're just so beautiful.
Britain has a truly spectacular coastline. It's an 11,000-mile long mix of cliffs, coves, inlets and beaches. And running across southern Dorset is an expanse of shingle that makes one of our most stunning stretches of coastline. When nature built this amazing Chesil Beach, almost by accident she created an 8-mile-long inner lagoon set apart from the sea. And it is a place of great peace and tranquility, and that makes it the perfect home for what I think is Britain's greatest bird. This stunning corner of coastline is home to Abbotsbury Swanery. It is the only managed colony of nesting swans anywhere in the world. Dave Wheeler has worked alongside these magnificent birds for over 35 years. He is officially Britain's one and only swan herd. His job is to make this place feel like seventh heaven for swans. Dave, morning Paul. Morning. Welcome to Abbotsbury Swanery. Thank you very much indeed. I'm seeing a barrel load of wheat here. I'm guessing it must be feeding time.
It is. It's breakfast, yes. Will you help?
I will, thank you. Which way? This way?
This way, to the left.
Oh, look, an early customer.
Yes.
She's having a bit of a hisitus, is that
Yes,
right?
she's a little concerned because she's got all of her
You're going to give her
entire family there to look after.
a wide berth, I think.
Yes.
This is the most astonishing sight. I've never seen as many swans in one place as this.
Please feel free to spread it over in the water.
Just throw it at them.
Right out well in the water. The more we spread it around, the better.
Breakfast time for the swans. Oh, look at them go. Wow. Plenty of food for all. What part does Chesil Beach play in making this a good place for swans?
It actually is the reason this exists. It's the backbone for the whole nature reserve. Without Chesil Beach, there'd be no lagoon. This would be sea, and it would be totally unsuitable for swans.
I sense there's something happening here that's a bit more than just feeding, because you've got colleagues over there who are working with another group of swans. So what's actually going on here?
Well, they're doing the hard work. The object of all this is to hold families in their territories. We do want to feed families at the nest so that cygnets remain close to their parents and don't get lost.
Ah, I get it. We're distracting them.
Absolutely.
We're holding them here, and you can do the real care and attention to the young ones that's necessary. There you are, boys and girls. That's your lot. Unusually, in the wildlife world, swans are often with their mate for life. And this season, Abbotsbury has 97 pairs, busy raising their young. So this is swan maintenance time, is it?
It is. Now, yes. Her mate has a broken ring. We just want to basically give him a nice new ring.
Wow, that's clever.
Right. Yes. So, he'll settle down in a minute.
Doesn't sound happy.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay. Like that, he can't actually do anything.
That's an incredible noise.
Yes.
I've never heard a swan make a noise like that.
Yes, that's basically, I don't like this.
Oh, well, I can
It'll be over in a minute.
And just as a matter of interest, this beak department.
Yes.
Does it hurt?
No, not at all. He won't even peck. Do try, put your hand up.
No.
No, go on. Go on. Give him a stroke. He'll react to you. He'll try and move away. But he isn't going to hurt you.
No. Any other bird in the world would have a go at you.
Some would, yes. I'd like you to hug him like this whilst we put a ring.
I'm going to hug him.
If that's okay. Yes, yeah, very helpful. So just hug nice and firmly. Like that. Good. You got it. Lovely.
Just hold him.
Yes, just hold him. Yeah, easy. It's good.
Hey, he's a big boy.
He's a good weight, I think.
Don't flap.
Thank you. Right, so this is the broken ring. And a little bit of glue. And there we go.
Off he goes.
Yes, brand new ring. Yeah. He's reunited with his family.
And that little wag of his tail there.
Yes,
that's what he thinks of us.
Indeed.
Despite the best efforts of Mum and Dad, sometimes the cygnets flee the nest a little too soon. What is it doing now?
Well, this one was a little bit lost this morning when I did my feeding rounds. I found it in the middle, just over there, quite a distance from the rest of the nest here. Would you like to hold it?
Yeah.
Certain. Okay, your hand, that's it, perfect. Your hand goes over the top.
And so soft.
There you go.
Well, where is Mum? I mean, where is she gone?
That's the question, and what's probably happened is that the female has taken their cygnets from the nest site down into the fleet.
Won't the mother miss one?
Not really, not at all. No, as long as they've got one or two, they'll be comforted that they've got a couple there.
What's going to happen to this chap? I won't be able to sleep tonight until I hear it's going to be a happy ending.
It will be a happy ending, I promise. Later on, probably within the next half an hour, she should return back to the nest.
Right.
When she's on the nest and I know that's definitely her, I can return it to that.
In the meantime, back in the bucket.
Indeed, back in the bucket she goes.
Back in the bucket, fella. Swans are very territorial, so it's unusual for them to be happy to nest so close together. And within 24 hours of hatching, the cygnets are able to swim.
Children, anyone can watch eggs hatch here, and the nesting birds are so used to it they don't worry in the slightest. They basically take advantage of us, I think. They're happy to take food from us. They're on a cushy number here.
And your life without swan?
I mean, it's been a long time now, and I think if I ever get to retire, then I'll be visiting this place and driving my colleagues mad, yes.
With the lost cygnet safely reunited with its parents, Ben is in Northern Ireland on the hunt for a far more elusive animal.
I'm in Northern Ireland. Just over there is the bustling city of Belfast. But behind me is the stunning Loch Ness, the largest freshwater lake in the British Isles. Steeped in folklore and history, it's a haven for wildlife and a real gem of this Emerald Isle. The area surrounding Loch Ness is one of Northern Ireland's most important nature reserves, providing habitats for some of the most precious wildlife, including the iconic Irish hare. The Irish hare was once a common sight across Ireland, but it's recently suffered substantial decline. So a team of conservationists, led by Amy Burns, are working here to try and reverse that trend. The area now has a small but thriving population, and I'm hoping to catch a glimpse. Amy, when you see a beautiful wild meadow like this, it's hard to believe there's so much life in here. Even more hard to believe that there's wild Irish hares.
Yeah, this habitat in particular is very good for Irish hare. They require very sweet grass, very tall rushes to build their forms in, so this habitat's perfect for them.
And the RSPB keep a survey of the hares, is that right?
Yeah, so what we do is throughout the year we'll do fortnightly surveys to see how many hares we actually have on site. The hare numbers kind of die down towards this time of year, and then all of a sudden, kind of February, March time, we have a lot more start appearing on site, and we want to understand why that is.
I want to see some hares.
Okay.
Come on, let's get going. In order to see the hare and count them, we first need to flush them out of the long grasses. Time to make some noise. This is a tricky process, as the hare can run up to 30 miles an hour. Blink and you miss them. Right, enough flushing for me. Can I see some hares now?
Certainly.
Thank you very much. Okay. Irish hare are much larger than rabbits, weighing up to half a stone, and their powerful back legs mean they can leap up to 2 meters high. I counted, I think it was 20, it could have been 21 hares, which I'm amazed since you've been doing this survey.
Yeah.
What have their numbers been doing?
Ever since we properly started monitoring, the numbers have been going up year on year. Obviously, when we open the gates and stuff, we lose an awful lot of individuals into the wider countryside. But that's also great because it's benefiting local populations of Irish hare. And some of our neighbours have come and told us that they're now seeing Irish hare out on their farmland, which they hadn't have done a couple of years previous.
You must be doing something right. Listen, thank you very much. What a privilege to see so many Irish hares. This area has so many hidden treasures to explore. My next destination is out onto the lake. I'm exploring the stunning Loch Ness in Northern Ireland. I'm joining Peter McVeigh, a project coordinator for wilderness tours here, for a journey to the magical Coney Island. So Peter, tell me a little bit about Loch Ness. This really is steeped into Northern Irish folklore, isn't it?
Well, the lake has been inhabited for, they believe, in around 11,000 years by the Mesolithic people. If you think about when the first people arrived here, the area would have been surrounded by trees. It was like paradise to them because there was an abundance of resources, abundance of foods. The biodiversity was absolutely unbelievable. It would have been like Eden here.
Coney Island is one of 100 islands in the loch. Around a kilometre from the shore, it's a 9-acre area of dense woodland. Whoa. This is like we've arrived in another world. It's so green.
Absolutely beautiful. Now you can see why it's like an adventure coming to this end. Wonderful. Let's go for a walk.
Let's go. There's evidence of human habitation here dating back to 8,000 years BC. It was once used to house prisoners, and there are countless tales of buried treasure. But Peter's brought me to find one of the lake's most ancient residents. The Loch Ness eel has been here since before humans. They would have been a vital resource to the first settlers, and not just as a source of food. You think you've got something in there?
Yeah, well, there's something moving about.
Oh,
there we go.
We've got some.
Yeah.
So what kind of eels? Look at them go.
Yeah, and these are the little... These ones here are the brown eel, and they won't mature to...
Can I?
Yeah,
Just
see if we
like...
can get it, yeah. They're quite slippy.
Whoa, so this is a brown eel?
Yeah. Look at this one trying to escape. The escape artist, and he knows exactly where the water is. Look.
So
let's watch them go.
They are like, they're very snake-like when you see them go like that.
Yeah.
Peter brings groups of disadvantaged young people here, believing this wilderness has special healing properties of its own.
Here on the island, I would actually take groups of youth who haven't ever had that experience, troubled youth, and we will bring them. We'll do a 3-day expedition and bring them to the end just to get this experience.
Does it change them as people?
Absolutely unbelievable. If you work with them for an hour somewhere in some club, it doesn't work. If you bring them to somewhere on a journey, it's the whole trip and then the experience of having to survive on the island for 2 or 3 days has a major impact on our lives.
This one that looks like it wants to go. Are we going to release this one? Shall I put this one back in the
Yeah,
water?
we'll put that one back in, and these ones here we'll just hold on to. We'll just put them back in the trap. Yeah, lunch.
There we go.
Yeah, there it goes, yeah.
I've been eeled. I've got the eel slime all over me.
Well, there's an oil on their skin, and that oil would have been, when the eel was actually skinned, they kept the oil, or they kept the skin and rolled it around a stick. And every time you put it into warm water, it would have come back round to the same consistency as it is on the eel. So it will actually set like a plaster. So it would have been an old, ancient, traditional sort of plaster cast with the beneficial of the oils coming out of the eel skin to heal the wound.
So this would have actually, all this slime on me, actually had medicinal uses.
Medicinal uses.
Isn't that incredible? And it's that sense of nature being the defining force here which gives this place a unique and mystical atmosphere. Ever since I was marooned for a year on an island, I've been captivated, visiting islands across the globe. Like many of them, Coney Island on Loch Ness here in Northern Ireland retains its unique history, a place of mystery and intrigue, buried treasure, healing eels, but above all, an extraordinary wilderness, just 25 miles from Belfast.
A little over 100 miles north lies the Hebridean island of Coll. Just off the west coast of Scotland, it's home to some rare and precious sea life. You get porpoises, bottlenose dolphins, common seals, minke whales, and a whole host of seabirds here. But also, from May to October, these waters become home to the enigmatic basking shark, the UK's biggest fish. And that's because at this time of year, conditions are perfect for the plankton they feed on to flourish. Today, I'm hoping to have an encounter with one of these enigmatic animals. Marine biologist Shane Wassick is an expert on basking sharks, so if anyone can track one down, he can. How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Really good. Where are we heading out today then?
So we're just starting here, just in Arnagower in the bay, and we're going to head straight out there and probably down to the right towards the south end of Coll, and that's known as a really good hotspot for the basking sharks.
All right, let's go. Let's head out there.
Sweet. At the moment we've got a lot of plankton in the water, and you can see ahead of us there's a tide line here, and that's where the concentrations of plankton occur.
And so what am I looking for out in the water? What's the telltale sign? Because they can be confusing me.
Yeah, it becomes really difficult. But once you see a shark fin, there's something in the back of your brain that tells you that's definitely a shark.
Basking sharks spend much of their lives feeding deep in the oceans. But from May until late October, these waters become filled with plankton blooms that are closer to the surface, and that attracts the sharks. How do they find this stuff?
It has been said that their brain is quite small compared to their nervous system that is linked to smell. So they do think they can basically sniff these out, but they're not a visual predator like a great white shark would be, for example, who have really good eyesight, and they swim along looking for seals. So these areas will be obviously giving off certain signatures with smells and various things, so they may be able to detect that from a distance away.
And that's the thing about basking sharks, we still know so little about them. They're incredibly mysterious animals, and this is really the only time of the year where you get to study them. A couple of months, when all of this good food is here, you get to see them at the surface. The rest of the time, they're very deep in the water, aren't they?
Yeah, well, one that was tagged in not far from here made its way all the way to Atlantic, and it dived to over 1,200 metres, so incredibly deep diving, and yet they're here on the surface for the summer months.
All we have to do is find an area with plenty of plankton, and we should find a basking shark. What's Yeah, there's definitely something there, but it's too far to tell.
Oh, dolphins.
Dolphins! I mean, we love dolphins, but we don't want dolphins today.
There, yeah.
Yes.
You can just see the dorsal fin sticking up.
Yeah. That is a big dorsal fin of a shark. Awesome sight. I've been so looking forward to this. But now that I've seen even the size of the fin, I can imagine what goes underneath that, how big that body is.
Yeah. We have had people come to cure their fears of sharks, and I guess they were part of the Jaws generation. But these are the gentle giants of the oceans.
Basking sharks pose no threat to humans. In fact, they prefer to avoid the noise of our boats. So to get really close, we're going to have to get in.
Okay, that's right here, so we need to get in right now. Just hold on to the side and just slip in the water really quietly, really gentle. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I just follow you, yeah? This is my very first encounter with a basking shark. These gentle giants are the second largest fish in our oceans. They can be as big as 12 meters in length.
How cool do they look with their mouths closed?
He's got this really cute little upturned snout.
Yeah.
He's magnificent.
They definitely come in animal. Yes,
Oh, totally saw us. Totally was spotting us going, who are you? What are you doing in my larder?
Once hunted for their meat and liver oils, basking sharks are now a protected species in British waters, but sadly they are still hunted elsewhere.
It's great to know they can be safe here. Knowing that they migrate such vast distances now, though, what does it mean about the protection around the globe when they do travel thousands of miles across the Atlantic?
Yeah, for example, in the Southern Ireland they don't have the same protection, and really they're sharks without borders because they cross huge distances across the Atlantic. So in essence, okay, they're protected here, but is there any point when they're not protected far out to sea? And through sharing pictures and videos, then people get to appreciate it, and then they can understand that they need to be conserved rather than targeted.
They're so beautiful.
How's
They're
that?
just so beautiful. They're magnificent creatures. It's really hard to put into words what that feels like, just being in the presence of something so huge.
Yeah.
Just slowly moving through the water like that.
Because on the surface you get the size of the fin, but then underwater you get to see the whole thing, and they are chunky.
Chunky is the right word. Well, thank you so much for allowing me into that beautiful, enlightening window that is
thanks for coming.
snorkeling with basking sharks. Put it there.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Next time,
Away.
Ben is in Cumbria with Britain's top shepherdess. And I'll be taking care of some rescued hedgehogs.
There you go. Oh yes, I'm in love.
Alexander Armstrong takes on a dangerous journey to the Arctic this Wednesday at 9. Next, we're back in Coronation Street. Have David's threats pushed Sarah away? Then at 9, it's new Doc Martin and it's birthday time for baby James.